intro again. So today I'm here with Jackie Dempsey, who works in the Public Relations Department here at the Red Sox and who also ball girls for the games. And today we're going to ask her a couple questions based on her career and how she got here. Jackie, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So what made you decide to go into sports management and the Public Relations Department?
Well, for my entire life, I've been involved in sports, whether it was through playing or coaching. And because I played softball in college, I think that's how I ended up landing my job here. But through playing sports and coaching, I knew I wanted to stay in the game. And right now I'm behind the scenes, but it's pretty interesting. It's been a great road so far.
Now, you mentioned playing sports. How has sports impacted your life?
Ever since I was very little, I've been playing competitive sports, and I think it has given me a track to stay on. And I realized through playing my whole life that I wanted to work in sports.
Now, I know you have a pretty interesting background on how you got associated with the Red Sox and working here. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure thing. Every time my family would go on vacation, every winter, we would take all our baseball and softball stuff, and my brother and I would find a field to play on every day, every morning while we were on vacation. And one year in particular, we were in Aruba in 2007. I was a senior in college at the time, and we decided to play catch on the beach. And when we finished playing catch on the beach, this gentleman came up to me and asked where I was from, where I played softball, and if I would ever have any interest in working in Major League Baseball. And it turned out at the time he worked for the Red Sox. At that moment, he was transferring over to the Dodgers, but he sent my resume along, and I went through the whole interview process here in Boston when I graduated college, and they hired me as a ball girl, and I worked part-time as an ambassador in fan services and entertainment, and that's how I got my foot in the door.
Now, take us a little bit on the day-to-day basis of your life and your job here at the Red Sox.
Sure. So 4 years after working part-time as a ball girl and ambassador, my boss hired me as his assistant in the public relations department. So on a day-to-day basis, I come in at 9 a.m. I go through all of my boss's appointments and make sure he's ready for the day. I do all the administrative things I need to get done. I make sure he's on time for all his meetings and he's done all his follow-ups. And then at about 4:30, sometimes I have to bring guests in and bring them on a tour and down to the field for batting practice and make sure they have a great experience at Fenway. Nights I have to change into my uniform and become a ball girl. So I wear many hats here in the public relations department.
Now, I know it's pretty hard to pinpoint just one specific thing, but what would you say is the most exciting and intriguing thing that you do at your work?
Well, my favorite thing is when I do get to bring a group or a family into the park early and bring them on a tour and bring them down to the field to watch batting practice and to see how excited they get and how their face lights up. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for most people to come to Fenway, and to get to share that with them, it makes me want to come to work every day.
And now, looking back to when you first started this job and where you are now, how has it really impacted your life?
I think that I get to appreciate what baseball as a sport does for the community and for the world, and the impact it has on everyone. And it really is America's favorite pastime, and you can see that on fans' faces every single day.
Now, were there any challenges that you faced getting you to where you are now?
I think having played sports competitively my whole life, I could have been deterred by injuries. I had some pretty serious ones that could have kept me from playing sports, and I kept coming back, and I think by sticking with it, I stayed on this path through softball, all through college, and it led me to where I am today, and I'm so thankful for everything that happened up until this point, because it obviously happened for a reason. I never would have imagined I would be working for a Major League Baseball team, let alone my own Boston Red Sox. But there was one point in time where I thought I was going to be a soccer player. I thought I was going to go to college to play soccer. Had I done that, my life would have been completely different, but instead I got injured playing soccer, so I went to softball, and that is why I am here.
Now, have you faced any criticism being a woman working in a predominantly male career?
I have not, actually. We have a great front office here, and they are constantly trying to include more women in the executive type roles. And right now we do have an executive vice president that's a woman. We do have senior leadership that consists of women, and I think it's going to continue to grow. And I have not faced anything negative as being a female in this front office, but I can't speak for other front offices out there. Ours is a pretty solid one, and I think women are going to continue to populate this front office.
And that leads me to my next question. Do you think that it's valuable to have women working in the sports industry and not have it just be a male-based, like every job is just ruled by men? Do you think that it's important to have women's roles in these jobs?
Oh yes, and especially in sports, because the viewers are not just men. You have women, children, little girls that play softball that love watching baseball, and to have a women's perspective in the front office who can know how to relate to those fans, it's very important, because while the sport is a man's sport, it should be a women's sport too. And I think having women in the front office, they can have an influence on how we can tailor our brand to women and children. And I think it's very important.
And now, one last question. What is your advice to ongoing seniors graduating high school, or any high schooler thinking about their future and thinking about what they're going to do past high school and in college and in life? Give them some tips on what to expect.
Sure. I think you have to try any and everything that you have any type of interest in. I think if you don't extend yourself and you don't try for those things that seem out of reach, you're never going to know. So you may as well try them while you're young, and it'll help you figure out what you want to do with your career, especially in college. Take courses that you wouldn't take, experiment, have fun, and you really want to try and figure out what you want to do. I think I still don't know what I want to do, but I knew my interest was in sports and softball specifically, and it's led me to where I am. And it's okay if you don't know, but I think I would have tried more things in college in terms of classes and majors and joining clubs, doing all that extra stuff. I would have loved to have done more so that I could figure out, pinpoint what I really want to do. But right now I'm working in sports, and it's a passion of mine, and we'll see what happens in the future.
All right. Thank you so much, Jackie.
You're welcome.